Namaste, angels. We're going to get started right away. I got the letters out again. Heard back from some of you that you really like the letters. So this time I dumped them in advance so I could remove the duplicates so that part could go faster. I'm just going to tell you what they are just in case you cannot see them. You cannot see them. I'm realizing now that none of them are in the frame. So let me at least let you see that I indeed have letters here. All right. They are Y, R, Q, S, N, T, Z, U, K, V, G, O, E, L, A, H, I, M. I think it's interesting that the last three letters were HIM or him. So maybe for some, maybe for all of us, this is more supposed to be about the masculine's initials than our own, but you may see your own. I think that would be, significant too. Or since this is both a general and a love reading, it may have something to do with someone, someone or something significant in your life this week that is not of a romantic interest, but something else, some other connection, maybe familial or in business or something. As the cards turn up and you resonate with something, if you further identify with one of the initials in that situation, then, I would say that that's an additional confirmation for you. Also, whatever capacity that person comes up in whatever situation, I think for the most part is going to be good. For some of them, for some of us, or some of the situations, some of the cards you see, it may point to something more negative. If you saw the reading that I put up this morning, which was the Aquarius new moon reading, then you saw that I talked about energy vampires. I talked about people putting hexes and doing spells, whether they were, considered white magic or black magic, whatever kind of hex spells, hexes, and all that stuff. I talked about all of that in that reading. Just a negative energy in general. Maybe somebody that's sending you negative energy unintentionally. It's their higher self that's doing it, or subconsciously it's happening. So for some people, when something comes out, especially if you've been experiencing something in your life and you're like, you've been wondering if you could trust somebody, or you've been wondering about a scenario, like, is this really happening or not? And you didn't want to tell yourself that it was because it's somebody that you consider a friend, a family member or something. This could potentially even confirm something like that. But again, for the most part, I think it's going to be positive. If you saw that reading, then you saw that 3 out of 4 aces popped up more than once. The King of Pentacles in reverse twice, side by side. The 4 of Swords in reverse, one atop the other, twice. Strength came out as soon as I said, let's pull a card. For the Leo full moon, I pulled it and it was the Leo card. It was strength. So many confirmations and signs in that reading. So again, if you haven't seen it, it is up for your viewing pleasure and your enjoyment, and hopefully your assistance, like in your week or the next 2 weeks, in connection to the Aquarius new moon. So this is the Twin Flame Oracle that we're beginning with. And the first card, or the card that we're starting with, is no. The answer to your question is no. And behind that, we do have Karmic Partner, albeit in reverse. This could be somebody to whom you are married, or your love interest is married even, or engaged, like a real commitment between you and this karmic. Conventional relationship, duty bound by societal conventions. You may feel like you are stuck with this person because of society, or maybe your own immediate society, like your family, your friends, your business. This is the person that looks good on paper, or looks good standing on your arm, whatever it is. Or you're in your religion, they're the same culture as you, they're the same religion as you. Your mother told you to, your father told you to, all those kind of things might make you feel duty bound to this person. But I think you're wanting to get rid of them. Like, it's like no to this person. I think you may have told them no, as in, we're not going any further, it's over. And one of the reasons why I say that is because we're also beginning here with the Queen of Swords who is most directly in Aquarius, like the new moon, but also potentially a Gemini or a Libra or someone that's not an air sign at all, but just, likened to the traits and attributes of an air sign, maybe very independent, maybe specifically female, maybe very, intelligent and well-spoken and, a leader, all those sorts of things. Disciplined. They call the Queen of Swords the Feng Shui Queen. She puts things in order in her life. Like when there's disarray, she has to straighten out the energy that's around her, and she will cut people off or add people as, sort of needed. All right. She's facing here, the way that the two decks are sitting here, the Queen of Wands. And speaking of doing spells and stuff, there's a black cat here. I'm not superstitious in that sense. In fact, my first pet was a black cat named Midnight, from the Dick and Jane books. When I was little, the book series, I think it was just called Dick and Jane. But anyway, there was a series of books, and I had them. And Jane had a cat named Midnight. So when I got my first kitten, she was black. I named her Midnight as well. But I say all that to say, she's holding her wand as if she's ready. She's got this black cat here, which is, signifies witch, maybe good witch. I'm not saying that it's bad, but witch, somebody who might be doing spells or something. And the Queen of Swords does not want to fight right now. Her sword is down. In fact, she's playing with the fairy. Fairy has her crown. She's returning it to her, so, and they're facing each other. So I think this woman may be up to something, opposite this one. Maybe the masculine in this case, like this may be the wife or the engaged, the betrothed, the mate, the person that's in a committed relationship with the masculine, if there's a party of three, and he may be saying no to this one and now yes to this one. Now, what's interesting is when I picked up the Queen of Wands, speaking of a party of three, underneath it is the Empress in reverse. The Empress is definitely closer to being a Queen of Swords than a Queen of Wands, because the Empress card represents the planet Venus, ruler of the signs of Libra and Gemini as it relates to swords. Also, of course, the ruler of the sign of Taurus. Now, on top of that, I didn't know this was here. Speaking of thievery, energy vampires, people trying to take from you. Okay? Again, I think it's this Wands woman. Seven of Swords. This person is not necessarily actually a she. It could be a male, of course. It could be a masculine. It could be a feminine. It could be whoever. They're going to trip themselves up. Like they're trying to take from you, and they're going to end up messing around and getting themselves. Maybe because you send them a return to sender. Return to sender of their, like you send their energy back to them, and that maybe be how they get tripped up in their own bullshit, their own foolishness. And that brings a death or an end to whatever this situation has been officially. And then, boom, we see the King of Wands also showing up underneath his queen and some other cards. He is now in reverse. I think that this is signifying the end of some sort of union, connection. Again, not necessarily a fire sign, not necessarily a female, but represented here by this Queen of Wands. And going up against this Queen of Swords. And these two cards even could perhaps be representing the two moons. The new moon in Aquarius that occurred yesterday, whose energy we're going to feel over the next 2 weeks, or the next major moon phase to come, the full moon in Leo. The queens in the tarot traditionally most directly represent the fixed sign of a given suit. So for the fixed sign of air or metal or swords, it is Aquarius, where the new moon was. The fixed sign of fire is Leo. So there's that. And I go into detail because I don't like to just say things and you have to just believe me because I'm saying I'm the psychic or I'm the reader and it doesn't make sense. I like, or I'm like forcing a message, making up a message that's not true. I like to show you exactly from where my messages are coming. Even if it's something I'm hearing, I'm going to try to translate it to you through the cards. All right, I'm not going to just tell you something random. Split energy. So at least for this little story that I was just telling here, definitely a masculine or somebody with split energy with two other interests at least. Options, right? Unfocused, multitasking, may have been juggling, may have been in a three-party situation of some sort that's going to get turned on its head. And it may involve an actual wife or, the mother of someone's children, with the Empress showing up as the person that's in reverse. Alternatively, again, the Empress could be this Queen of Swords, and she's in reverse because of what this Queen of Wands is doing. For now, again, she's going to get tripped up in her own foolishness, and then she and the the King will both end up in reverse, the King of Wands. All right, so split energy, options, unfocused, multitasking, decide what you really want. This one or this one. There used to be a song, speaking of him, that came up in the letters. Him or me? Do you want him or me? You can't have both. You can Google that maybe. I mean, that was like how the rhythm of the song went, and those were some of the lyrics that I remember. And I think the guy started singing after that. It was like, ooh, do you really want him? Do you really want me? I don't remember, but it's probably from the 80s or something. Anyway, sacred space, altar, prayer, candles, commune with your own divinity. So in order to figure out which one do you want, whether it's and it might not be an actual person. I mean, the court cards can definitely represent actual people. And so a lot of tarot readers, including myself, when we're talking about them, we will talk about them as actual people, but it does not have to be. It can just be representative of an energy as well. Like I said, it could be the moons, what each moon is going to bring to you, and it can cause some sort of scenario in your life. So there could be two situations or two things between which you need to pick. And maybe you need to take a sacred space, create a sacred space, take some time to yourself, kind of like hermit, meditation or something, in order to think about it. Which do I want? And being honest with yourself, because right now you're in denial. And that may be how you ended up married to this person or situation when you really want this one. Repressed emotions, rejection, being unable to see below the surface. And this too came up. There was a card from this deck that said something like, basically, I don't want you. And to clarify it, I pulled from here, and it was denial. And I had also said, this is not true. This is bullshit. And sure enough, the card I pulled was denial, saying that was like a false message. The person was wearing a mask. They were lying. So you got to be honest with yourself and appreciative, thankful for what you have. And that's how you're going to manifest what you want, additionally, too. Your twin appreciates you. See the blessings, practice appreciation. I also talked about, at least in the description of the reading that I put up, I talked about praying for your mate or love interest, particularly the feminine praying for the masculine, because that kind of energy was coming through. All right, here we have concern and poverty. So the masculine, again, being worried, concerned, maybe because he has to figure this out between two people. We got more threes showing up here on this card. We got another 3 here with a 7. 7s are about divinity and the divine and guidance from spirit and from God, the universe. So he could be feeling like he's in lack right now. I also talked about that, like for some of us, some of the masculine in particular, or the person that they're with, this karmic person, I guess it could be feminine too. They are, a lot of them are with you because of money or something, like how they could get, how abundant they become when they're around you, or how they could take from you your abundance, whether that was actual money or some sort of status, a position, opportunity, combinations of those, or just draining your energy. And so it's led to this feeling of lack. And this is one of the things that the universe is using to try to tell you to get the fuck away from this person, honestly. And you're sitting here like this, concerned, which is good because, again, remember, you need to sit by yourself in a sacred space in order to do some thinking and meditation and figure out what it is you really want. Some people may, the karmic may be pregnant, and of those cases, and some of the time it's not really the masculine's baby. And the reason I say that is because I asked what I needed to know today in general, and I was using these cards, and toil and labor came out, and then child fell right on top of it. So labor, I was told, was, literal. It's like having to do with birth of a child, with pregnancy. And then like right after that, my best friend from high school, she called me and she was telling me that, and we're in our 50s, okay? I'm 51. She's a little older than me, so she's either 52, 53, something like that. In any case, she's like, one of her friends, so that's not, much younger than her, is pregnant. And I was like, I literally just saw pregnancy like 5 minutes ago. So then when I took after our conversation, like maybe an hour after that, I had to drop my daughter off at work. And as I was driving there, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean came on so that was where I got like, oh, this might be, I just felt immediately like it might be connected for some to the message about the baby. Like it's not really his. Okay. Anyway, our new overall energy here is now Privileged Lady. Underneath it is House in reverse. And cut these also. So this was the deck that had the Queen of Swords upright. New overall energy here, the Two of Wands in reverse. Seven of Cups upright. And I'm going to read this one that fell away and is upright and flipped over. Money worries are keeping me up, and I cannot make this up. Didn't I just say that there was a problem with money for some, that the person was with them for money or abundance or something, and it's draining them? Money worries are keeping me up at night, and I'm just not in a good place right now. This is that poverty card. But if they were like, honestly, if these divine masculine or even the divine feminine, if you're with your karmic still, and it's like, I can do bad all by myself, like you're just going down with this person. They're like literally draining you and possibly of actual money. And if you're the masculine, I've been feeling it more strongly associated with the masculine. This person also just costing you a lot of trouble, drama, costing you in your life, whether it is, again, actual money or something else. But here we are getting a confirmation that, for some at least, it is actual money. The next, I'm not going to read this one. They fell out together. I guess we were meant to see this one. But since this one is sideways, I'm not going to read that one. But in terms of upright cards, the card that was on the top that we would have started with is, you will always be my favorite hello and hardest goodbye. That could be somebody that you walked away from, or that, walked away from you, that maybe wants to come back. All right, so now we just have secret messages on top and in the back too. No message. So We're going to put these to the side for a second, these oracle cards. The feelings between us are mutual. So because if you're in separation, so you've been wondering how the other person feels about you, or even if you're not in separation, I guess, if they're just not very communicative, they do feel the same, even if they haven't said it. Okay. Focusing more on general energies, including love. Here we go. The card that will most directly represent the collective this week is the Four of Pentacles in reverse. That's another card that came up duplicate in the Aquarius new moon reading. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. Surrounding energy. So our close friends, family members, co-workers, 7th house type relationships, closest one-on-one type relationships. It's another Two of Wands, this time upright. Remember our overall energy here in this deck, well, is a Two of Wands. That's how it looks when it's upright. Okay, here's the other one. So here we have a male figure holding up the world on his own. The Two of Wands signify faith that he's going to manifest whatever this dream is about the world coming in. And then here we have him sharing it with the feminine. So for some of us, this is our surrounding energy. It has to do with coming into some sort of union or partnership with somebody, or at least the beginnings of it, or your plan to do so. Doesn't necessarily mean romantic, but some sort of partnership. It could be business. It could be family, like healing a relationship. Work and finance. King of Wands, upright. And there's that Leo energy I was talking about again. It's a lion here. Love and relationship. 9 of Wands in reverse. Physical health. The Sun, very nice. Somebody could even be going through chemo and it's going very well. Spiritual health. 2 of Cups in reverse. So something going on maybe with our relationships as related to divinity. Divine unions, perhaps, or other divine connections, soulmates. Many, many different types of soulmates. Again, some are in our family and among our friends. Right off the bat, I'm going to lay clarifiers for this 4 of Pentacles in reverse, this 9 of Wands in reverse, and the 2 of Cups in reverse from the Oracle decks. With these, I like to use the upright card, the next upright card that's not flipped over. I know you're sad, but I will make things right between us. They did this to me last night too. It took me so long to find a card that wasn't upside down or sideways or flipped over. I stay awake thinking about you, and I will fall asleep. I fall asleep dreaming about you. You are always in my thoughts. You are always on my mind. I heard a song like that earlier too. That song by The Deal, Babyface's brothers or whatever. Babyface is in that group too, wasn't he? I don't know. I think it's by The Deal. I only think of you on 2 occasions, day and night. All right, so that's that one. I have a plan for us, maybe like this guy, the 2 of Wands. I said it's a plan, at least. If he's not actually coming forward, there's at least a plan too. But it will take some time. Can you be patient a little longer? And here's for this one. I'm so glad we found each other because my life has been so much better ever since. I'll leave that one on top now. Remember, we had Privileged Lady. It's an overall energy from this deck. You know what? I could have done the same thing with this deck. I could have looked for the upright cards, and I did not. I turned them over. I made them upright. I guess I was meant to pull those. All right, so from this deck, let me go back to my usual. So split energy was our card. This is the upright way. This is in reverse, so I won't take that. All right. So from these Oracle cards, clarifying the Four of Pentacles in reverse, we have, I'm very attracted to you, and I can feel the chemistry building between us. So somebody is loosening up their hold on themselves and coming a little bit closer to you, more forward, at least energetically. They're making a change, right? So again, they had been holding on to themselves. They had been very closed off, and now they are starting to loosen up and make themselves more energetically available, at least, because they regret maybe having refused you before. And this could be us. We could have been closed off, because again, this is the card that most directly represents the collective this week. So we could be the ones that were closed off, or this was happening to us, or both. Remorse, life regrets, loss. We got to start making more empowered choices. In connection to love and relationship and the Nine of Wands in reverse. I understand you perfectly. Let's not fight anymore. Can we call a truce? This card came up in the other reading as well. Oh my God, you guys are not going to believe this. Then we have Great Fortune, which this morning I pulled. This is not why I gasped either. You're going to see the next card. This morning, when I pulled this card, I said, the water bearer. This woman has a jug. She's pouring, it's butterflies that are coming out, transformation that's coming out of this pot. But it's called Great Fortune, and I've just felt that it was Aquarius energy. This is wish fulfillment. So it's great fortune in so many ways. It's not just money. It is love, or, as it's coming out here in this spread. It is, opportunity. It's career. It is, things working out in your family. Just being totally blessed. Just waking up every morning and saying, everything goes my way every day, all day. Even if it doesn't seem like it's going my way, in the end, I always win. Everything goes my way. And you may want to do affirmations like that. But that's what this card said to me this morning. That's what it was telling me that it represented. Not just fortune in terms of, riches, monetary riches. But this is why I gasped. Because this is the love and relationship placement. Look what showed up here. Great fortune, twin flames, and wanting to call a truce, wanting to not fight anymore, wanting to not feel overwhelmed anymore, wanting to not be in separation anymore, lacking communication, wanting to open up again, like I said here. Wow. So there could definitely be some twin flames coming together this week. Again, at least energetically. You feel a shift, a change in the energy. And that may be courtesy of the Aquarius new moon. Or the sun being in Aquarius. That's also happening. Or Venus currently being in Aquarius. She remains there through the 26th. So today is the 22nd that I'm doing this reading. Sunday the 22nd. She remains in Aquarius through the 26th, at which time she moves into Pisces. All right, so there's that. And then twin flames, eternal love, reincarnation, passion, twins seeking union. Lastly, for the spiritual health placement. Oh my God. Okay, I have to show you this. So you can see nothing happened off camera. I picked these cards up. They remained in frame. You're going to see them. Family and work responsibilities. Occupation, work is what this card represents. Family. Family and work. Family and work. Okay, I cannot make this stuff up. I wish more my readings would reach more people. You know, it's such a shame that I've been shadow banned, but now you see why. This is why I've been shadow. They don't want these kind of messages to get out. You know, that are really accurate messages that the collective, could be helped by. Somebody's, blocks it. Anyway, family and work responsibilities are weighing me down, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. How can we make this work? So that's why this Two of Cups in reverse. I mean, this couldn't be more perfect either. The spiritual health placement this week for the majority is about a relationship, and not only just a relationship, but likely a romantic relationship. And how can we repair it? How can we make it work when I'm going through all of this stuff that is disrupting my spirit? But the Two of Cups, this partnership, is on my mind and is what I want. Family and work responsibilities weighing them down. Occupation, family, kids, opinions, judgment. Okay, we've got to resolve family stress, and this is also about somebody looking to get some sort of support. Oh, I don't know why I covered up the tarot cards. All right, let's go. Let's do the traditional and intuitive meanings of the tarot cards now. Okay, so again, the Four of Pentacles, and this would be more so when it's upright, can be a card of holding on to things, people, money, situations, just longer than is healthy or realistic. And I've often used the example about a job, because a lot of us, because we feel like our livelihood. So this could, well, maybe a job and then maybe a relationship, because again, you could want to hold on to a relationship also because of money, or stability. And so we're holding on to something that we know is dead. We know our heart isn't in. So you go to this job every day, you are absolutely miserable. They treat you with, no respect. They abuse your, just your very existence. You go there, they make you work in all kinds of positions that are not really your job. They're not paying you anything extra to do any of this other work. They act as if like you have no right to, family life, or to get sick, or to do it. And you just hate it there. Okay. You hate it. It hates you. The people there hate you. You don't like them. And it's just a miserable existence, but you keep going because you get a paycheck, right? At least I get a paycheck. And those are the kind of situations that you need to get out of. And similarly, in a relationship, oh, well, he or she pays the bills. At least we split the cost of the house or the car, or they help me take care of the kids, even though yeah, he's a narcissist, but he picks the kid up from daycare, or, she is cheating on me with the guy next door, but at least, she's a good mom, and I don't want to hurt my kids' feelings by leaving their mom, that kind of stuff. You're just abusing yourself, and you're not doing, even when there's children involved, you're doing them a disservice as well, because you're not showing them genuine, healthy examples of loving relationships and how it feels, how it looks to be happy. So when the card is showing up like this, it's like a sign that we really have to look carefully at what we're clinging to, and whether others are clinging to us in a way that's unhealthy as well. Also, anxiety. This card can be about anxiety, and maybe specifically about things like money, or other things that we feel bring us security or stability, other earthly things, right? Because it's pentacles, it's earthly. So in addition to that, this particular card has people sort of bowing before this one guy who is coming across like a King of Pentacles or an Ace of Pentacles, because he's got one, pentacle sitting on his head in his crown. And these other people are kneeling before him, handing him their pentacles. So it looks kind of like an apology or some sort of penance or something that they're paying to this guy for maybe wronging him. In reverse, the reverse, on its own, the Four of Pentacles would be sort of like beginning to release those things of holding on too tightly and realizing that you need to go out, get up and go out and do better on your own, because it's not going to just fall into your lap. Like you're not stuck and you're not trapped. It's up to you to let go of these things that are really holding you back. They're not helping you. You're not putting yourself in a better or more secure situation by staying in a bad marriage or at a job that's even in this kind of economic crisis and climate. You can, moonlight, as they say, while you're looking for a new job or while you're trying to start your own company or something. And as soon as you're able, get out of that place that's harming you. But again, with this card, just looking at the pictures and stuff, with it being in reverse, these people can be realizing that this is somebody who's just taken, and not given back. And maybe that is why you finally need to release this person or this situation. It's taken from you, it's drained you. So again, in the surrounding energy, we have, rather than taking from you, we have somebody that wants to share with you. We have somebody that wants to, or an energy, if it's not an actual person, that wants to bring balance to you, bring equity to your life, bring equality to your life, help to devise a plan, right? Work on manifestation. This is level 2 of the manifestation process. The level 1 being the thought, the idea, the words that you speak over yourself. Level 2 is the faith, believing that it can actually come to pass. And then in this case, that we can do it together. We can make it come to pass by working together, by collaborating on this. Or I have this already. I have this dream. I want to share it with you. I can cut you in on this deal. And we can make a plan going forward of how we're going to make it grow, how we're going to realize the dream together, even if it was my dream that I initiated by myself. So that's what the Two of Wands is coming in to do this week in our lives, in our surrounding energy. So again, this can be something involving close friends, family members, co-workers, and for a lot of people, it's going to have to do specifically with work and or finance, because we have the Wands here, and then we have the Wands here in the form of the King of Wands, specifically in the placement of work and finance itself. And Wands are often about career, work, travel also, and work that involves travel, combinations of those. So getting back specifically to the twos of any suit are often about balance, as I was saying before. So it's important for us to keep or balance in our life as much as we can, or to allow for balance to be restored. Again, if somebody else or some other energy wants to come in and help us to bring balance to our life. Even like boring things like eating right? You need a balanced diet. Getting enough rest, or so it's like sleeping too much versus not getting enough rest, not sleeping enough. We need that balance. We need the middle. We need to be productive, but we need to get enough rest so that we can be productive, so that our cognitive abilities are on point and all that kind of stuff, which they may not be if you don't get enough sleep. Now, lack of sleep can also cause like weight gain and just all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't even imagine. It's tied to not enough sleep. So that's why we need balance. And then as it relates to our relationships and partnerships, again, reciprocity, give and take, 50-50 or 100-100, like both putting our full effort in, equality and equity in a relationship, whether it's business, personal, romantic, combinations of those, whatever it is. So stay mindful this week about the people, again, it's going to be mostly 7th house type relationships, your closest one-on-one type relationships. Staying mindful of the give and take that's required for a successful relationship. And if things are feeling sort of out of balance for you in general now, know that they're about to get a lot better. And, sort of keep your eye on the prize. The prize here is, remember, the world. It's that shared focus, that shared dream that we're going to manifest into reality. And it's possible that it's just energetic, because somebody could be leaving their job to start a business with you, and they haven't told you that yet, or to start a business that they're going to welcome you in on. Or you could be doing that, right? Or when it comes to relationships, somebody could be getting out of a toxic relationship, or out of singlehood and out of, you know, just again keeping themselves out of partnerships, maybe restricting themselves, holding themselves back because of some past pain or hurt. They're going to be releasing that so that they can plan a future with you. So they may not have told you yet about the future that they plan with you, but that would be how it could only be energetic, and maybe you don't realize it yet. So moving on to the King of Wands, those of us looking for a job, if we're unemployed or underemployed, we're looking for a better job, maybe something that you could really, that'll really be positive for you, is like right around the corner, and maybe around the time of the Leo full moon, which is just 2 weeks from now. So something could be coming up, I would say, within the next 2 weeks for you, and that's why it's showing up in this week's reading, because we just had that one moon. It's just really a positive, indication that like a position that you'd be really happy with is forthcoming very soon. So, I mean, in one case, time doesn't exist, right? So what does soon mean? I think it's before or by the Leo full moon, just based on what I'm getting from this card. And I'll show it to you a little closer, so maybe you can get the same thing. We see the hand of God or the universe coming down with the wand, handing it off to you. We see like this lion, he's not in a position where he's ready to strike or defend or whatever. He is very calm, as if, like there's no need to worry. Everything's going to be fine, or everything is fine. And I think that's how you're meant to feel as well, because something's coming in very soon again. Also, for some, this can actually represent an actual person in your life, and maybe specifically at your work. Somebody who you can really learn something from, and they do have your best interests at heart. They do mean you well, although it may be difficult to tell sometimes. They may be kind of rough around the edges. I don't know if you know any fire sign males, but sometimes they can be, especially if it is a Leo, an actual Leo, they can be sort of arrogant. Maybe my dad was a Leo, and a businessman. And so that they can be sort of, I guess arrogant is the word. It's the best word I can think of right now. So, not like their people skills can sometimes leave a bit to be, something to be desired, as they say. But again, they do mean you well. And this could be somebody that you find helpful in your office this week, an opportunity to learn from this person who is maybe older, wiser, or been with the company longer or whatever, and can help you to level up. Specific to finances that may or may not be tied to your work, it could just be some other, increase that you experience. You may discover a talent that you didn't realize you had, or that you didn't realize could lead to an increase in money. A lot of people are getting into different things on the internet these days, and it's like that's the next future. Like it's like trade and industry jobs have gone sort of by the wayside, and a lot of these industries, it seems they're going to need to come to an end if they haven't already, because they're harmful to the environment. If somebody's decided they're harmful to the environment, and so we're looking at new innovations and stuff like that. And so a lot of things are happening on the internet, and at least in the meantime, a lot of people are becoming like different types of influencers or creators, as they call them. So it could be something like that, is what I'm getting. You could find some sort of, realize either you have a talent or hobby that you never thought of could actually make you some money, and you're realizing that it can this week, or you're discovering the talent altogether, and it's, like maybe you're singing in the shower, and, you get at the gym, and the guy that's in the shower next to you happens to be a music producer, and he stops you when you get out and says, hey, I'm looking to sign somebody, or something like that. Could be something completely that seems like out of left field with your talent, or you could be somehow realizing, hey, I might be able to make some money off of this. People are selling pictures of their feet even, or doing like feet videos or other fetish stuff on places like OnlyFans and whatnot. So it could be something like that. Anyway, so you shouldn't necessarily, leap into any and everything that comes along if you're not in the or you don't feel like you're in the position yet to do that. Like sort of start where you are. Maybe that means reading about it, researching, talking to somebody else that may know about this kind of, I don't know, idea, and then go for it. But don't be afraid to dream big. I mean, this is King of Wands energy, This is sort of King of the Jungle type of stuff. He is bold. He is, defiant in the face of adversity and all that kind of whatnot. So go for it. Moving on to the Nine of Wands, love and relationship. I'll show you the card again. This is what it looks like upright. We have it in reverse. And if you're single and looking for love again, this is a card that's saying, like, try a little tenderness. Like, don't be too rough. Don't be too aggressive. Gentle, thoughtful, tender. That's the approach that can work wonders for you here. That sort of hot and fast pursuit that may be normally what the energy of wands, or the element of wands, would bring, is likely to be a fail right now. That's not gonna get you what you want. And for those who are already involved or have somebody in mind, you either have a partner already, or you have some sort of connection or love interest, maybe in this case, your twin flame. Your path to great fortune is indeed calling a truce. All right? You may be convinced, and it's like 100% convinced, 1,000% even convinced that you're right and they're wrong, or vice versa. And that may actually be the case. But you're not going to force your partner or this person or your love interest, whatever they are, twin flame, to see your point of view through anger, by force, through coercion, and certainly not by, not communicating and not speaking. So, again, you're going to want to call a truce. You're going to want to make it clear that you don't want to fight anymore. Okay, you believe that you guys can be abundant together. A power couple of sorts even. And you want to know how. Just like it says here. Family and work have gotten me down. Okay, I'm feeling beaten up. I'm Nine of Wands. Okay, I don't know how much longer or more I can fight. I'm kind of done. Kind of tired here. They just really got me bogged down. But how can we make this work? How can you make this work? By, being gentle with each other, sending each other love. And I put that in the description of the Aquarius new moon reading, particularly from the feminine to the masculine. I said, send your man some love, even if it's just energetic, you're praying for him or whatever. Do that, because I just could feel, and the cards demonstrated it too, and they're doing it again, that it's needed. But maybe it's needed in both directions. And also, stop holding on to like the old grudges or reasons why you felt you couldn't be together, and focus instead on how can we build something together? How can we grow this dream together? This is going to require dropping old feelings of, blame and guilt, the inability to forgive itself, all those sort of negative emotions. Somebody's been holding on to those very tightly, and they need to be released. Right? A change of perspective or focus to this is what's needed. And that's going to involve calling a truce and consciously deciding that you do not want to fight anymore. Right? These guys could have been two people fighting against each other, and now they're both just standing there because they're both tired. That's how it is in the relationship too, with this card. But these are showing us what we could have if we do that. Now, moving on to physical health, again, we got the sun, major arcana card, the sun. Now, Earth's star, the sun, does in fact rule the sign of Leo. So again, more strong Leo energy coming through in this reading. However, in the tarot, the sun represents the planet Jupiter. My computer just started talking. Represents the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius, which Jupiter rules. Jupiter also tied to the fixed sign, so maybe that's why we're also getting or have gotten in this reading at least the Aquarius and you had the Taurus too with the Empress. Aquarius, Taurus, Leo. So the only fixed sign that's not present is Scorpio. And maybe that's coming through in the Two of Cups. I don't know. In any case, the Sun is saying that you feel good. Okay, you feel good. This is where your health and well-being should just be at a high point right now. And it's a great time for, if you're able to, take some kind of time off, whether that means a few hours, a few days, a few weeks, whatever you're able to do, and just enjoy life, right? This is a time when you need to do that. And it's, although this is the placement of physical health, this is partly mental too. It's not just physical. Like if you look back, you're likely to find that your attitude has been more positive recently too. Or again, as you go deeper into the week, it will be. And when you look back on this week, next week, you'll be like, I was feeling pretty good last week. Actually, I went to the doctor on Friday. And he was like, is this, how's this going? How's that going? The things that I had, in the past had some sort of challenges with. And I'm like, good. He's like, so is it safe for me to put in your chart that you are feeling good today? I'm like, I'm feeling great today. And I really was. Like nothing was bothering me, not an ache, not a pain, not an annoyance. And although I'm sure there's 10,000 things that could have been, weighing me down, it just wasn't. Like the energy around me was just so positive. And that's what the card showing up in this placement says we're all set to experience this week. So further to that, for me in my readings, the Sun tends to also have to do with like illnesses and things that have to do with rays. So like a fever, for example, so like COVID or the flu or whatever, somebody that's been maybe, just bedridden or something or taken down with one of those things, just feeling a lot better this week. The health improves this week. Somebody who is undergoing chemo or radiation, that goes well this week. Somebody who's having some sort of test that involves rays, like an X-ray, an MRI, a sonogram, that goes well this week. Again, tying it to the pregnancy, perhaps. You may find that not only are you pregnant, for some of you, maybe you're going to find out what the birth of the baby is, and it'll be a boy, a son. What else? It's just a positive card. It's a positive card. Things are going well, and it is a good time. So if you have vacation time, PTO, whatever it is, or even, like I said, just a few hours where you can say, you know what, I'm just going to go to the park, go be by the water, go whatever you're into. Those are my things. I like to, walk down to the seaport, sit by the water when I'm taking time for myself, and, I don't want anybody knocking on my door or anything like that while I'm doing it. That's what I do. I spend time by the water. And if I'm able to, if I got more time, then I really spend time by the water because I go to Myrtle Beach or I go to Virginia Beach or I go to an island or something like that. I get on a cruise if I really got time to take a break. So I suggest the same for you, and the card is suggesting the same as well. And last but not least, despite what you're going through with your family and or work, the Two of Cups in the placement of spirituality talks about the heart chakra, okay, and it's opening. This card, this energy wants you to find joy and bliss and to share it with someone else. Notice how we have the Two of Wands crossing the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups has come to be known as like a soulmate type of card, and the Two of Wands has long been, at least as long as I've been on here reading tarot and stuff, which is like 6-7 years at this point, the twin flame card of the tarot. And we also have the actual twin flame card. So the Two of Cups in reverse wants you to connect with that energy, okay, in this placement. This is talking about it being time for you to work on, when you're saying how can we make this work? Well, what you can work on is your feelings of belonging. So you may need to, or you may not only need to, you may find yourself or automatically this week connecting more with your understanding, maybe even doing reading or research again, your understanding of what a soulmate is, what it means to be someone's soulmate or someone's twin flame, or what a divine union is, what a soul level connection means, and just getting more to know yourself, this new self, this new version of yourself, this transformed, evolved, more spiritual version of yourself, and what it means in relationship or in relation to another person, right? In terms of partnership. This is the universe wanting you to get more comfortable with being at home with you, with yourself, and home being like in the skin you're in the body you're in, with the soul you have, with your, the path that's laid before you, your destiny, your reality, or what's meant to be. Getting more comfortable with that and breaking away from this 3D version. Again, releasing this earthly version and delving into the more spiritual version of yourself. Everything's making noise today. My computer, my phone. I apologize. These are things that we have to do for ourselves. Like, nobody can do those things for us. But allowing that to happen, your heart chakra to open, for you to let somebody in, for you to even share this information as to why you've been maybe sort of withdrawn in the past. The reason I've been withdrawn is because my family and my work has me really weighed down. But I do want this partnership to work. So what can I do? What can we do? And that's where it starts. That's where it starts with a conversation. Again, can we call a truce? Yes. Let's be more communicative. And that's what's going to happen. That's what that's going to lead to. Now, with our overall energies again of the Seven of Cups, you got choices. You don't have to choose to do that. You could choose to remain closed off, and to not live your truth, but kind of who wants to do that? And the card behind it is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So this is somebody who is, it's not living in the truth, not being completely grounded, not being the nurturer, and the balanced energy that she's meant to be when she's upright. Or, you could have wish fulfillment. The Nine of Cups, as opposed to the Star, maybe, which is also about wish fulfillment, sometimes takes, you have to do something. Like, the cups don't necessarily fill themselves. You may have to do something and be specific about what it is you want. So then that requires communication as well. But, so it's up to you. There's room for success and a win here, if you so choose. And with the overall energy here, oh yeah, it was the Two of Wands. Two of Wands in reverse, which is pretty much another card that's very positive, even if it's in reverse, especially as it relates to spirituality and or relationship and love. And it's about a deepening of the connection. So whether it's in reverse or whether it's upright, it's good. But the card behind it is this, which is about decision. Am I going to continue to place the earthly, before myself, before, balance in my life and in my relationships? Or am I going to, seek to have time for birth, to make time for me and make time for work and make time for my family and, whatever I have to do more in a more equitable way. Okay. So it looks like we will have somebody, at least for the most part, for most of us, who wants to do that, who wants to, have his pentacles and have them grow too. Take some, but leave some behind to continue growing. And this can also involve, if you want to get more literal about the meaning in terms of traditional tarot, making an apology to somebody, maybe first and foremost himself, if nobody else, and some sort of offer. This may involve an actual Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. The card behind him is also, it's another two. It's the Two of Swords in reverse, which is indicative of having made a decision. You know, maybe to not juggle things around. And lastly, on this note, I'll end on this too. It's Major Arcana card 20, which is also a 2. Judgment, which as it relates to relationships, even a relationship or situation that we thought was dead can be coming back around. Judgment is a card of second chances. For me, it's also about abundance that is earned. So like I was saying about the 9 of Cups, you may have to do some work, you know, in order to get that wish fulfillment, but it's coming. This is, we did the work, and so that's why we're being blessed. I said I would end there, but the next card, I got to tell you what it is. It is the 10 of Pentacles. So this is the security and stability that you want, that you're looking for. You might think you have it in this other situation where you're not happy, but if you're not happy, that's the indication that you don't have the security and stability. Okay, that's not how happiness feels. That's not how stability feels. It doesn't feel unhappy. It doesn't feel miserable. And all right, now I'm really going to end. The next card happens to be the Star. So again, let's sort of come full circle with that wish fulfillment and everything going our way. Refer to the affirmation that I made up off the top of my head as I was doing the reading earlier. Everything goes your way. Everything is a win, right? Even if it doesn't always look like it as it's happening. If you guys have enjoyed this reading, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I do appreciate it. Namaste.